I'm Thomas, and these are the top 5 most frequently asked questions about Hanna checkers, including how the heck you get all the powder out of this little package. But let's kick things off with, are they worth it? I think this question's answer is a resounding yes, with an asterisk. And we'll get to the point of that asterisk in just a second. But for most reefers, paying $55 for a colorimeter is well worth it. They're faster and easier to use than a standard test kit. They only have 1 reagent, while most test kits have 2 or more. And they also don't rely on your ability to differentiate between subtle shades on a color chart to determine the result, and instead give you a simple digital readout. And they are just as, and in some cases, more accurate than standard test kits, especially when you factor in human error. You also get quality vials and a hard case to store your checker and its accessories. Plus, the reagents aren't going to break the bank, so the biggest cost is the initial purchase of the checker itself. Now, onto that asterisk, some of the Hanna checkers are a bit more involved, take longer to perform, and can be a little bit tricky. Namely, the calcium and the low-range nitrate checker. So they may not be worth it unless you have real trouble with matching color charts and telling the subtle differences between shades or end colors with regular test kits. But for the majority, like alkalinity, phosphate, and high-range nitrate, heck yeah, they're worth it. What Hanna checkers do I need? Well, this really depends on what you personally test for on a regular basis, but with the majority of reefers in mind, I think the must-have checkers are the alkalinity DKH, nitrate high range, and phosphate ultra low range. They are the ones that you'll use most often, plus they all use a single reagent and are quick and easy to perform. They're the ones that I use and I do really like and recommend them. I'll link you to them at the end of the video. Are the Hanna checkers accurate? Yes, and not only are they accurate, but they're also precise and they have a really good resolution. And for example, the nitrate high range checker will give you a reading between 0.0 and 75.0 ppm in 0.1 increments with no more than 2 ppm or 5% difference, which is plenty accurate for our needs as reefers, considering we want our nitrates somewhere between 5.0 and 20.0 ppm. The phosphate and the alkalinity checkers are also more than accurate enough for successful reefing and have helped many a reefer find success with their water parameters. How do you wash the vials? All right, so I'm gonna give you 2 answers. According to Hanna's instructions, special care must be taken in cleaning, preparing, and handling the cuvette. After washing with the HI 9370350 anti-static cleaning solution, cuvettes should be well rinsed multiple times with distilled or deionized water and allowed to air dry completely. The reality is, I don't do any of that. I just rinse the vial out in tap water really well, get all the salt water and reagent out of it. Then I will rinse it off in a little bit of RODI just to make sure any of the tap water is out. And then I give it a really good shake to get as much water out of it as possible. Then I put it into the case and just leave the case open so it can air dry. And in my 2 years of having these test kits and using them, I have never had an issue with false or inaccurate readings based on how I'm cleaning the cuvettes. So take that for what you will. How do you get all of the powdered reagent out of that little packet? This question gets asked a lot, and there is a simple trick that makes it a super easy and mess-free transaction. When you look close, each packet has a dotted line to cut across. First, grab the edge of the packet closest to the middle of that dotted line, and then give it a really good shake to get all the powder down to the opposite end. Next, use a pair of scissors to cut along that line. After that, push on the corners of the packet to open it up so it creates a pocket. Spread the pocket apart until it's flat in the opposite direction, creating a nice crease down the center of the packet. This creates a little funnel for the powder to slide down, and you can place the tip of that funnel on the edge of the vial, tip it up to send all that reagent powder down into the vial, a couple of taps, and you're done. Okay, not done. You still gotta put the cap on and then invert the vial a bunch of times and then put it back into the checker to actually get a reading, but you know what I mean. And as promised, you can pick up those must-have Hanna checkers for yourself by clicking right here.